present Walt Disney's Disneyland.
When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are.
Each week as you enter this timeless land, one of these many worlds will open to you. Tomorrowland, promise of things to come. Fantasyland, the happiest kingdom of them all. Frontierland, tall tales and true from the legendary past. Adventureland, the wonder world of nature's own realm. Presenting this week from Adventureland, a trip through Adventureland and a true life adventure, Waterbirds. Now your host, Walt Disney.
Ever since Disneyland Park opened, one of the most popular realms has been Adventureland. As many as 10,000 people a day have taken this boat trip safely and comfortably through the waterways of our man-made jungle. Many of our visitors are third and fourth timers. Most everyone has been impressed by and curious about the realism of Adventureland. The lifelike animals, the authentic tropical settings. We've had many requests to tell the full story, both inside and out of this tropical realm. Well, it all started with an idea that sprang from our true life adventure films. We would duplicate in Disneyland Park actual scenes and settings from this nature series. Of course, we knew that our biggest job would be recreating the actors of the wildlife dramas. The king of beasts from our motion picture, The African Lion, the elephant, the giraffe, and all the others. Of course, to stock Adventureland with live animals was neither safe nor practical. So on paper, we began to sketch and design replicas that would be made of plastic and steel, but when in action would be as lifelike as their real counterparts. As a backdrop for the animals, we would have a dense jungle. And as a sort of flowing theme to tie the whole realm together, we would have a network of tropical rivers. Altogether, Adventureland was an ambitious project, and we knew it. But eventually, as we untied the knots and solved the riddles, out of the drawings came blueprints. And out of the blueprints, bulldozers. In Disneyland Park, the job of carving out the tropical waterways of the world was at last underway. Whenever you try to duplicate nature, you have to work on a grand scale. And so before this job was over, we moved not tons, but whole mountains of earth. Then from the far corners of the world, we imported many varieties of plants and trees, most of them full-grown. In studio workshops, meanwhile, artists and engineers were creating lifelike, life-size animals, the actors in the Adventureland drama. And soon they began to make their entrances one by one along the dry river beds. Jungle resident guaranteed to furnish chills even in the warmest weather is this cannibal chieftain. Along the Mekong River, in another part of the jungle, The ruins of an ancient Siamese temple take on a few more centuries of antiquity under the deft strokes of an artist's brush. And sometimes even nature can be improved upon with an occasional splash of man-made color. The smaller creatures of Adventureland must be carefully groomed and prepared for the busy days that are soon to come. To a family group known as saurians, the crocodiles and alligators belong. And of course, they belong at Adventureland too. This Disneyland dentist makes sure the croc's crockery will be sharp and shiny. To carry the electrical power that will animate the animals, it takes miles and miles of wire. The electrical wizards get their biggest shock when they find that everything works. One of our true-life adventure photographers keeps a day-to-day film record of the growth of Adventureland. And now he's going aloft for a bird's-eye view. As it turns out, it's a windy day, which doesn't help the photographer's photography or his nerves either. But he sticks to his perch to get this last view of Adventureland just before one of our first big moments. This is the opening of the master valve that brings water to the rivers of Adventureland. $2 million gallons, and several days later, the water has risen to a respectable level. And now, a floating nursery crew operates all day long, soaking the river banks to prepare for the planting of new shrubs. In the rowboat is Bob Matty, who built the giant squid for 20,000 leagues under the sea. He's also responsible for these mechanical marvels. Here he checks the wiggle action of a crocodile's tail. Of course, when you're going on a boat trip, the most important item is the boat. Before the upper deck is furnished with seats, awnings, and other trappings, the hull undergoes a final check. And now at last the job is done. The jungle is ready and waiting for the next phase in our Adventureland story. An actual boat trip through the hidden byways of this tropical water wilderness.